Hey internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the John Graves Show. The biggest game in Kuroko's basketball has just ended. Well, one of the biggest games have ended, and it was with Kaicho versus Siren. And with how things ended off in this match, it was just a big ass struggle just to not allow them to score. And they did everything in their power to set Kisei up to where he was having the hardest time to retaliate against everybody. And it was a perfect plan. It's like it was perfect in its execution, how they forced him up underneath the net, how they had to force like him to pass to his other team members. And once that happened, they were like in the right position to go ahead and do what they had to do. The problem with it though was that like at the end, everything was a gamble, especially since all this was happening in the last 4 seconds of the game. Because when Rakuzan was watching and they're like, oh shit, man, it's like Kaicho scored and they're like 80 and Siren 70. Oh man, they are about to fucking lose. This shit's over. They are not about to do any of that. We about to face them. And a lot of people thought that as well. However, when they saw the faces of like the members of Siren, they're like, we got some shit underneath our sleeve. And that last gamble, giving with like when Kisei was on like when Kisei had Kagami pinned down and Kagami had to pretty much like make a gamble and do a damn meteor jam. It's like that is like the most different. Like it's like he obviously was not going to stop that, or at least like he was not going to stop Kisei. But give or take with how things had to set up, it's like Kuroko showed up like at the right time, and give or take with how things had to go, it was the perfect plan. It's like he does not have like he had no way of passing the ball back, but give or take with like a bunch of ingenuity of like bouncing the ball off the backboard to give it to Kuroko so that he could like shoot a buzzer beater and actually get like the extra shot so they could fucking win. That was like the moment when it was like, shit, this could have ended so badly if one little thing would have just went wrong. And it didn't. It worked out perfectly well for him. But really thinking about it, that shit right there, it was a struggle. It was a definite struggle for Siren to win against Kaicho. Especially since they have like the one player member who is so difficult to stop. Even though technically they did stop him, they technically did a few times, and they did actually get like a few shots on him. But really thinking about it, it's like this fucker really is one of the more difficult members to play. And what is going on now is the fact of the story of how the story of Akashi and the interpretation that there are two Akashis, meaning that he has two different abilities, which is actually really scary if you really think about it, because if there's two Akashis, well, now he has two different eyes anyway. If there's two of them, then that really is something to worry about, because if they play well enough, it's a good chance that it's not going to end up well, especially since Kuroko and everybody else, they do know that the way how Akashi's acting now, it's not how he acted before he gained his eagle eye, which is actually something in itself. And this episode, it does sort of go off with Kuroko telling a story about how he joined Teiko Middle School, and how he became one of the founding members, or at least like the Phantom Sixth man of the Generation of Miracles, which how this story started off, I really was interested in it. However, I do believe that like the next episode that does come out, everything is going to be like in full flashback. They are just going to go from there, which is something that I do kind of praise them on. So for those of you out there who were watching the game was amazing. It was fun. I know that that fight, Kaicho really tried their hardest, but other than that, it's sad to see them lose. But that is what I got to say about that. What do you think about it? Tell me in the comment section. I'll catch you on the next John Grave show. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out. I love Croco's basketball.